I'm standing in the doorway of our bedroom, watching my wife Melissa get ready like she's preparing for the Met Gala. The black dress clinging to her curves is one I've never seen before, must have cost more than my monthly truck payment. She's applying makeup with the precision of a surgeon, each stroke deliberate and perfect. The perfume she's wearing hits me from across the room, something expensive and intoxicating that she definitely didn't wear on our anniversary last month. "Where are you going?" I ask, leaning against the doorframe. She doesn't look at me in the mirror. "My ex needs support." "What kind of support?" The question comes out sharper than I intended. Melissa finally glances at me, her lipstick halfway applied. "He's going through a rough time, Nick. His father just passed away, and he's struggling with the funeral arrangements." I watch her finish the lipstick, a deep red that makes her look like she stepped out of a magazine. "You're all dressed up for your ex?" "I'm just looking nice." Her tone is defensive now, the way it gets when she knows she's being unreasonable but won't admit it. "I should be with him tonight. He's like family." Like family. The words hit me like a slap. "What about us tonight? We had plans." She waves her hand dismissively, grabbing her purse, also new, I notice. "We can do dinner any time, Nick. This is important." She walks toward the door, heels clicking on the hardwood floor. Something in my chest tightens, but I keep my voice steady. "Go." She stops, surprised. I can see she expected an argument, maybe even wanted one. "Really?" I nod. "Yeah, go." She hesitates for a moment, like she's waiting for me to change my mind or start a fight. When I don't, she shrugs and walks out. The front door closes with a soft click that somehow sounds louder than a slam. I count to 10, grab my keys, and follow. Melissa's silver BMW is easy to tail through downtown traffic. She drives like she's late for something important, weaving between cars with the kind of urgency she never shows when we're going somewhere together. My truck stays 3 cars back, just another vehicle in the evening rush. She pulls into the valet area of Zenith, one of those upscale clubs downtown where drinks cost $20 and the music is loud enough to make your ears ring. I park across the street and wait 5 minutes before heading in. The bouncer barely glances at my ID. Inside, the bass thrums through the floor and colored lights sweep across a crowd of people who look like they stepped out of a fashion magazine. I stay in the shadows near the bar, scanning the dance floor. I spot her immediately. Melissa is pressed against a tall guy with perfectly styled hair and an expensive suit. Her hands are on his chest, his are on her hips, and they're moving together like they've done this 1,000 times before. This isn't grief support. This is foreplay set to music. The guy whispers something in her ear, and she throws her head back, laughing. Her fingers trace down his tie while he pulls her closer. When he leans down to kiss her neck, I pull out my phone and call Emma. "Nick? What's up?" Emma Richardson has been Melissa's best friend since college. She's also the most honest person I know, which has always made me wonder how she and my wife stayed so close. "You need to see this," I tell her, giving her the club's address. "See what?" "Nick, you're scaring me." "Just get here, please." 20 minutes later, Emma appears beside me at the bar. She's wearing jeans and a sweater, looking like a normal person among all the peacocks. "What's going on?" she asks. I point toward the dance floor. "There." Emma follows my gaze and her mouth falls open. Melissa and her ex are making out now, her hands tangled in his hair, his roaming places that definitely aren't appropriate for family support. "Oh my God," Emma breathes. "How long has this been going on?" Good question. I'm already recording video on my phone, making sure to get clear shots of both their faces. But I'm about to find out. After 5 minutes of documentation, I nod toward the dance floor. "Ready?" Emma's face is flushed with anger. "More than ready." We weave through the crowd. Emma taps Melissa hard on the shoulder, and my wife spins around. The color drains from her face when she sees us both standing there. "This isn't what it looks like," she stammers. Emma laughs, but there's no humor in it. Really? Because it looks like you're making out with your ex while your husband thinks you're providing grief counseling. I hold up my phone. Got it all recorded, timestamps and everything. You followed me? Melissa's voice cracks. You lied to me, I reply. The ex, Brandon, I remember now, has melted back into the crowd like the coward he apparently is. Melissa looks around frantically, but he's nowhere to be seen. I'm done covering for you, Emma says, her voice cutting through the music. I should have told Nick months ago about your little dinner dates and late-night phone calls. Emma, shut up, Melissa hisses, but Emma's on a roll now. All those girls' nights, half of them were dates with Brandon. I lied to your husband because you begged me to, but I'm not doing it anymore. I'm learning more in this moment than I have in months of marriage. How long, Emma? Since March, maybe earlier. Emma won't look at Melissa. I'm sorry, Nick. I should have told you sooner. Melissa tries to grab Emma's arm. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, Emma snaps, pulling away. You're cheating on your husband and you made me an accomplice. People around us are starting to stare and whisper. The music seems louder, the lights more garish. Melissa realizes she's become the center of a very public scene. Nick, please, can we talk about this at home? We're done talking, I say. We're done, period. I turn and walk toward the exit, Emma beside me. Behind us, I can hear Melissa calling my name, but I don't look back. Outside the club, the cool night air feels like a relief after the suffocating atmosphere inside. Emma and I stand on the sidewalk, both of us processing what just happened. I need a drink, Emma says. A real one, not whatever overpriced garbage they serve in there. We walk to a diner 2 blocks away, the kind of place that serves coffee strong enough to strip paint and stays open all night. Emma slides into a booth across from me, and for the first time, I really look at her. She's pretty in a natural way that Melissa never appreciated. Brown hair that catches the light, green eyes that actually look at you when she talks, and a face that shows real emotion instead of the carefully controlled expressions my wife perfected. I owe you an apology, she says, wrapping her hands around her coffee cup. A big one. You don't owe me anything. You're not the one who cheated. But I knew about it. Emma's voice is quiet, ashamed. The first time was in March. Melissa said she ran into Brandon at a coffee shop, that it was innocent. Then it was lunch because he was having problems at work. Then dinner because they needed to catch up properly. And you believed her? Emma shakes her head. I wanted to. She's my best friend, or was. But the stories kept changing, and she started asking me to cover for her more and more. If Nick calls, tell him I'm with you. If he asks about Thursday, we went shopping. I felt sick every time I lied to you. My phone buzzes with texts from Melissa, but I don't read them. Why didn't you tell me? Because I'm an idiot. Emma's laugh is bitter. And because I thought maybe she'd come to her senses and stop, I kept hoping it would just end on its own. But it didn't. It got worse. She started talking about Brandon like he was the love of her life, like you were just some obstacle in her way. She said things. Emma trails off. What kind of things? Emma hesitates, then meets my eyes. She said you were boring, that you didn't understand her ambitions, that you were holding her back. She talked about your job like it was embarrassing. I'm a contractor. I build things, fix things, make good money doing honest work. But to Melissa, I've apparently become some kind of blue-collar stereotype she's ashamed of. There's more, Emma continues. Brandon's been pushing her to leave you. He wants her to move in with him. Says they could be a power couple in this city. Real estate and marketing, you know? She's been eating it up. The betrayal cuts deeper than I expected. Not just the cheating, but the complete dismissal of everything we built together. How long were you planning to keep lying for her? I wasn't. That's why I'm here. Emma reaches across the table and touches my hand. I couldn't watch her destroy you anymore. You deserve so much better than what she's been giving you. Her touch is warm, real in a way that Melissa's hasn't been for months. I don't pull away. What happens now? I ask. Now you decide what kind of man you want to be, Emma says. The kind who lets her walk all over you, or the kind who fights back. My phone buzzes again. This time I look. Melissa's calling from different numbers now, probably because I blocked her original one. I decline the call and look back at Emma. I think I want to fight back. Emma smiles, and it's the first genuine smile I've seen all day. Good, because I have some ideas. The next morning, I wake up on Emma's couch with a crick in my neck and a clearer head than I've had in months. Emma's in the kitchen making coffee, wearing pajama pants and an oversized t-shirt that somehow looks better than all of Melissa's designer outfits combined. Sleep okay? She asks, handing me a mug. Better than I have in weeks. It's true. For the first time in months, I didn't spend the night wondering where my wife really was, or what she was doing. Melissa called me 6 times last night, Emma says, settling into the chair across from me. I didn't answer. She called me 12 times from different numbers. I blocked them all. Emma grins. She's probably losing her mind right about now. She's not used to people not jumping when she snaps her fingers. What did you mean last night about having ideas? Well, Emma says, leaning forward. Melissa's whole life is built on image and control. She needs people to see her as perfect, successful, desirable. What if we took that away from her? I'm listening. She's been lying to everyone. Her friends, her co-workers, her family. They all think she's this devoted wife who's maybe having a rough patch in her marriage. What if they knew the truth? I consider this. You mean expose her? I mean, let her expose herself. Give her enough rope to hang herself with, then watch her do it. Emma pulls out her laptop and shows me Melissa's social media profiles. Photos of us together, captions about how lucky she is, comments from friends about what a perfect couple we are. It's all performance art. She posted this last week, Emma says, pointing to a photo of Melissa and me at dinner. The caption reads, "Date night with my amazing husband. So grateful for this man." Want to know what she was really doing that night? Do I? Texting Brandon the entire time. I saw the messages when she showed me a funny meme on her phone. They were planning their next hookup while you were sitting right across from her. The audacity of it is almost impressive. So, what's your plan? We wait. Let her think she's gotten away with it, that you're just going to quietly accept whatever story she comes up with. Meanwhile, we gather evidence, photos, messages, witness accounts, and when she least expects it, we destroy her. Emma nods. We let everyone see who she really is. My phone rings. It's my brother Jules, calling from his security consulting business downtown. Nick, what the hell is going on? Melissa just called me crying, saying you abandoned her at some club last night. I put him on speaker. Jules, meet Emma. Emma, this is my brother. The one who's been covering for Melissa's affair? Jules asks. Emma winces. The one who just helped me catch Melissa cheating, I correct. There's a pause. Well, shit. What do you need me to do? This is why I love my brother. No judgment, no lectures, just immediate loyalty. How good are you with surveillance? Emma asks. Better than good. Why? Emma and I look at each other. Because we're going to war, I tell him. Jules arrives an hour later with a bag full of equipment that looks like it belongs in a spy movie. Tiny cameras, recording devices, GPS trackers, the works. Perks of the security business, he explains, setting up a command center on Emma's dining table. Most of this stuff is legal as long as we're careful about how we use it. Define careful, I say. Don't break into anyone's house. Don't hack their phones. Don't do anything that requires a warrant. But if they're in public, or if you have legitimate access to something, then we're good. Emma pulls up Melissa's work calendar on her laptop. She syncs this with her personal calendar, and I have the password from when I used to help her plan parties. Is that legal? I ask. She gave me the password voluntarily, Emma shrugs. Not my fault she never changed it. Jules grins. I like her already. The calendar tells a story. Melissa has a client dinner tonight, but Emma recognizes the restaurant as Brandon's favorite. Tomorrow she has a late meeting that corresponds with Brandon's gym schedule. Thursday is girls' night with Emma. News to Emma. She's gotten sloppy, Jules observes. Overconfident. Good, I say. Let's use that. We spend the morning planning. Jules will handle surveillance and documentation. Emma will work her network of mutual friends to find out what people know and what they suspect. I'll play the part of the confused, hurt husband who's trying to work things out. The key is to let her think she's winning, Emma explains. Let her get comfortable, maybe even a little reckless. People like Melissa always overplay their hand eventually. My phone buzzes with a text from Melissa. Can we please talk? I can explain everything. I show it to Emma and Jules. Perfect, Emma says. Here's what you say. I type. I'm staying at Jules's place tonight. Maybe we can talk tomorrow when I've had time to think. The response comes immediately. Thank you. I love you. She loves me, I say dryly. How touching. Jules snorts. She loves the idea of keeping you as backup while she plays house with Brandon. Emma's expression darkens. She told me last week that she was thinking about asking for a separation, said she needed space to figure things out. Translation, she wants to test drive Brandon before she trades me in, I say. Exactly, but now that she's been caught, she's going to try to have it both ways. Keep you on the hook while she figures out her next move. Jules packs up his equipment. I'll be watching her tonight. Emma, can you find out what her work friends know? Already on it. Sophie Chen from her office has been dying to spill some gossip. I'll take her to lunch. I look around Emma's apartment, at these two people who barely knew each other 12 hours ago but are now plotting to help me. Why are you both doing this? Jules answers first. Because you're my brother, and nobody screws over my family. Emma's answer is quieter. Because I've watched her treat you like garbage for months, and I'm tired of pretending it's okay. There's something in her voice, in the way she looks at me, that makes my chest tight. But I push that aside for now. There'll be time to figure out what's happening between Emma and me after we deal with Melissa. All right, I say, let's burn this thing down. That evening, I'm sitting in my truck outside Brandon's favorite restaurant, watching my wife lie to my face via text message. She's told me she's at a work dinner with important clients, but I can see her through the window, laughing at something Brandon just said. Jules is positioned across the street with a camera that could probably photograph the moon. Emma is at home, working her phone like a detective. Got a clear shot of them holding hands across the table, Jules reports through my earpiece. She's wearing that red dress you bought her for Christmas. The irony isn't lost on me. She's wearing my gift to seduce her ex. My phone rings. It's Melissa. Hey, honey, she says, and I can hear restaurant noise in the background. Just wanted to check in. This dinner is running longer than expected. No problem, I say, watching her through the window. How's it going? Boring client stuff. You know how it is. She's touching Brandon's hand as she says this. I might be really late. Don't wait up. I won't. Love you. Love you too. She hangs up and immediately leans across the table to kiss Brandon. Jules captures it all. Jesus, Jules mutters. She's got brass, I'll give her that. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. Sophie spilled everything, call me. I dial Emma's number. You're not going to believe this, she says without preamble. Melissa's been telling people at work that you two are having problems. She's painted herself as the long-suffering wife of a man who doesn't appreciate her. What kind of problems? According to Sophie, you're controlling and jealous. You don't support her career, you're threatened by her success, and you've been emotionally distant for months. I watch Melissa feed Brandon a bite of dessert. She's setting up her narrative. Gets better. She's also been telling people that Brandon is just a friend who's been helping her through this difficult time, a shoulder to cry on. While she's planning to leave me for him. Sophie doesn't know about that part yet, but she did mention that Melissa's been asking a lot of questions about divorce lawyers. Jules's voice crackles through the earpiece. They're leaving. Looks like they're heading to his place. Follow them, I tell him, then speak to Emma. How much does Sophie know? Enough to be suspicious. She's not stupid, Nick. She can see that Melissa's story doesn't add up, and she's not the only one. What do you mean? I made some calls. Melissa's been sloppy at work too. Long lunches, personal calls, leaving early for appointments. Her boss is starting to notice. An idea starts forming. Emma, how would you feel about having lunch with Melissa tomorrow? I'd rather eat glass. Why? Because I think it's time to see just how far she's willing to go with her lies. Emma meets Melissa at their usual spot, a trendy bistro downtown, where the salads cost more than most people's dinner. I'm positioned at the coffee shop next door, close enough to see them through the window, but far enough away to avoid detection. Emma's wearing a wire, one of Jules's toys that looks like a normal button on her blouse. We're recording everything. You look terrible, is the first thing Melissa says when Emma sits down. I didn't sleep well, Emma replies. I kept thinking about what happened at the club. Melissa's face hardens. That was a misunderstanding. Was it? Because it looked like you were cheating on your husband. Nick and I are having problems, Emma. Serious problems. Brandon has been helping me work through them. Emma orders a salad she doesn't want and leans forward. By sticking his tongue down your throat? It's complicated. No, it's really not. You're married to Nick, and you're screwing around with Brandon. That's called adultery, not complications. Melissa looks around nervously, making sure no one can overhear. You don't understand what my marriage is like. He's not the man I thought he was when we got married. What's that supposed to mean? He has no ambition. He's content to just exist. Build his little houses, watch his sports, drink his beer. I need more than that. Emma's doing a good job of looking sympathetic while I'm fighting the urge to storm over there and dump Melissa's overpriced salad on her head. So you decided to find more with Brandon? Brandon understands me. He has vision, drive. We could build something together, something important. What about your wedding vows? Melissa waves her hand dismissively. I was young when I married Nick. I didn't know what I wanted then. And now you do? Now I know I deserve better. Emma sits back. So you're going to divorce Nick? I'm thinking about it. Brandon thinks I should. And what does Nick think about all this? Melissa's expression shifts, becomes calculating. Nick doesn't know about Brandon. Not really. Last night was unfortunate. But I can handle it. Handle it how? Nick loves me. He'll forgive me if I play this right. I just need to convince him that what he saw wasn't what he thinks he saw. Emma stares at her. You're going to gaslight him. I'm going to save my marriage while I figure out what I really want. That's disgusting, Melissa. That's realistic. I'm not ready to blow up my whole life yet. I need time to make sure Brandon is serious about us. Emma stands up abruptly. I can't listen to this anymore. Emma, wait. No. You're planning to lie to your husband, string him along while you decide if your boyfriend is worth leaving him for. That's not complicated, Melissa. That's cruel. Melissa grabs Emma's wrist. You can't tell him, please. Why not? Because you're my best friend. Because I need you. Emma pulls free. I was your best friend, but that was before I knew what kind of person you really are. Emma walks out, leaving Melissa sitting alone with her untouched salad and her ugly truth. That evening, I'm back at my own house for the first time since the club incident. Melissa's car is in the driveway, and I can see lights on in the kitchen. She's cooking dinner, something she hasn't done in months. I find her at the stove, wearing an apron over a simple dress, hair pulled back, looking like the woman I married instead of the stranger she's become. "Hi," she says softly when I walk in. "I made your favorite. Pot roast with vegetables, the meal she used to make when we were dating. The smell takes me back to better times, which is probably the point." "Smells good," I say, hanging my keys on the hook by the door. "I thought we could talk, really talk, without all the drama from last night." I sit at the kitchen table and watch her bustle around, playing the role of devoted wife. "Okay, let's talk." She serves dinner and sits across from me, the picture of contrition. "I owe you an apology." "For what?" "For last night. For how it looked." She reaches across the table to touch my hand. "I know what you think you saw, but it wasn't what it seemed." Here we go. "What was it then?" "Brandon was drunk, emotional about his father's death. He got confused, thought we were still together, and I didn't want to hurt him by pushing him away. He's grieving, Nick." The lie comes so easily, so smoothly, that I almost admire the craftsmanship. If I hadn't heard her real thoughts at lunch, I might even believe her. "So, you were just being kind?" "Exactly. I was trying to help him through a difficult time, and he misunderstood. When you and Emma showed up, I was mortified." "You looked pretty comfortable for someone who was being misunderstood." Her grip on my hand tightens. "I was trying not to make a scene. I didn't want to embarrass him in public." "What about embarrassing me?" "You're right. I should have handled it better. I should have been clearer with him about boundaries." She looks down at her plate. "I'm sorry, Nick. Really sorry." I take a bite of pot roast. It's perfectly seasoned, just like I remember. "What about all those other times? The dinners? The phone calls?" She looks surprised that I know about those, but recovers quickly. "He's been struggling since his divorce. I felt sorry for him. But you're right. It was inappropriate for a married woman to be spending so much time with her ex. I can see that now." "And you'll stop seeing him?" "Of course. You're my husband. You're the most important person in my life." The performance is flawless, contrite but not pathetic, apologetic but with explanations that shift blame away from her. She's good at this. "I love you, Nick," she continues. "I know I've made mistakes, but I want to fix this. I want to fix us." I set down my fork and look at her. Really look at her. She's beautiful, poised, saying all the right words, and every single thing coming out of her mouth is a lie. "I love you too," I say. The relief on her face is palpable. She thinks she's won. "So we're okay?" she asks. "We're okay." She comes around the table and kisses me, and I let her. I even kiss her back. Because tomorrow I'm going to destroy her world, and I want her to be completely unprepared for it. "I'm going to take a shower," she says. "Maybe you could join me?" "Maybe," I say. "I just want to finish dinner first." She heads upstairs, humming. Actually humming, like she's celebrating her victory. I pull out my phone and text Emma. She took the bait. "Tomorrow we end this." The response comes immediately. "I'll be ready." I finish my pot roast and listen to the shower running upstairs. Melissa thinks she's manipulated me into forgiveness, that she can keep both me and Brandon on strings while she decides what she wants. She's about to learn how wrong she is. The next morning, Melissa leaves for work with a spring in her step and a kiss on my cheek. She thinks she's successfully gaslit me into believing her story about Brandon's confusion and her kindness. She has no idea what's coming. Emma arrives an hour later with Jules and a laptop full of evidence. We've been busy. "Sophie called me this morning," Emma says, setting up at my kitchen table. "She wants to meet for coffee. Apparently Melissa's been bragging about how she handled you last night." "Bragging how?" That you're so naive, you'll believe anything she tells you. That she could probably convince you that black is white if she batted her eyelashes hard enough. Jules pulls up photos on his laptop. Got some great shots from last night, too. After you came home, she went right back out. Guess where? I don't need to guess. Brandon's place. Stayed until 2 in the morning. I've got her car in his driveway, her leaving his building, the whole thing time-stamped. So while I was falling asleep in our bed, believing her apologies and promises, she was in Brandon's bed celebrating how easy I was to fool. There's more, Emma says. She pulls up Melissa's social media. She posted this an hour ago. It's a photo of our dinner table from last night, the pot roast and candles visible. The caption reads, "Sometimes the best therapy is a home-cooked meal with the love of your life. Grateful for my patient, understanding husband. Blessed, should marriage, should love." The comments are already rolling in. Friends and family praising our relationship, talking about what a perfect couple we are, how lucky Melissa is to have found such a good man. She's using you, Emma says quietly. Using your forgiveness to make herself look good while she keeps seeing Brandon behind your back. Not for much longer, I say. Jules, is everything ready? Everything's in place. You sure you want to do this? I look at the photo again, at the comments from people who think they know us, at the lie Melissa has built our entire relationship on. I'm sure. Emma's phone rings. It's Sophie, calling from Melissa's office. Put her on speaker, I say. Emma? Oh my God, you have to hear this. Sophie's voice is breathless with gossip. Melissa is telling everyone that Nick completely fell for her story about Brandon. She says he's so desperate to keep her that he'll believe anything. What else is she saying? That she's got him wrapped around her finger. That she can keep seeing Brandon as long as she throws Nick a bone once in a while. She's actually laughing about it. Emma looks at me, her face flushed with anger. Sophie, are you free for lunch today? Sure, why? I have something to show you, something about Melissa that I think you need to see. After Sophie hangs up, Emma turns to me. Last chance to back out. No backing out. Let's do this. Jules starts typing. Sending the package now. The package is a carefully curated collection of photos, audio recordings, and screenshots. Melissa and Brandon at the restaurant. Melissa leaving Brandon's building at 2 a.m. The audio from yesterday's lunch where she admits to planning to string me along while she decides if Brandon is worth leaving me for. Jules sends it to a list we've compiled. Melissa's boss, her co-workers, her friends, her family, and several mutual acquaintances. Each package is customized. Her boss gets evidence of her lying about work commitments. Her friends get proof of her cheating. Her family gets the full scope of her deception. How long before she finds out? I ask. Sophie's meeting Emma for lunch in an hour, Jules says. I'd say Melissa knows something's wrong by 1 o'clock. Knows how bad it is by 2. Emma checks her watch. I should go. Sophie's going to want to call everyone she knows after she sees this. She heads for the door, then stops and turns back. Nick? For what it's worth, I think you're handling this exactly right. She made her choice when she decided to lie to you, instead of being honest. After she leaves, Jules and I sit in the quiet kitchen, waiting. You okay? He asks. Yeah. Actually, I feel better than I have in months. No regrets? I think about that. About the woman who made me pot roast while planning to see her lover. About the social media post that painted me as a fool. About the months of lies and manipulation. No regrets. My phone buzzes. A text from Melissa. Having lunch with the team. Might be late tonight. Love you. Another lie. According to her calendar, she's meeting Brandon at his apartment. I delete the text without responding. Here we go, Jules says, watching his laptop screen. First response just came in. It's from Melissa's cousin Sarah. Emma just called me. Is this real? Are you okay? Then another from her college roommate. Nick, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Then another. Saw the photos. Can't believe Melissa would do this to you. The phone starts ringing. I don't answer, but I watch the calls pile up. Friends, family, co-workers. Everyone wants to know if it's true, wants to offer support, wants to express their shock and disappointment. By noon, I have 37 missed calls and 62 text messages. Melissa has no idea what's coming. At 1:47 p.m., my phone explodes. Melissa's name flashes on the screen, and when I answer, she's screaming so loud I have to hold the phone away from my ear. What did you do? What the hell did you do? I told the truth, I say calmly. You destroyed me. My boss called me into his office. My mother is crying. Everyone thinks I'm some kind of monster. Aren't you? The line goes quiet for a moment. When she speaks again, her voice is different, colder, more calculating. You have no idea what you've done. I will destroy you for this. With what? More lies? I think people have heard enough of those. I'll take everything. The house, the savings, half your business. I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of man you really are. Go ahead, try it. She hangs up, and immediately my phone rings again. This time it's Emma. She knows, Emma says. Sophie said Melissa came back from lunch looking like she'd seen a ghost. Then her phone started ringing and didn't stop. How bad is it? Her boss suspended her pending an investigation into her work conduct. Apparently, she's been billing personal time as client meetings for months. And her mother called me. She wants to apologize to you personally. Jules looks up from his laptop. It's trending on Facebook. Someone shared the story in one of those local community groups, and it's taken off. I look at his screen. Sure enough, there's a post titled, "Local woman caught cheating, tries to gaslight husband." The comments are brutal. This is bigger than we expected, I say. People hate liars, Jules shrugs. Especially pretty ones who think they can get away with anything. My doorbell rings. Through the window, I can see Brandon's BMW in my driveway. Showtime, Jules says, grabbing his camera. I open the door to find Brandon and Melissa standing on my porch. Melissa's makeup is streaked, her hair disheveled. Brandon looks like he wants to be anywhere else. We need to talk, Melissa says. I don't think we do. Brandon steps forward, trying to look intimidating. You had no right to drag me into this. You dragged yourself into it when you started sleeping with my wife. This is between you and Melissa. Leave me out of it. I laugh. Little late for that, don't you think? Melissa pushes past Brandon. I want those photos deleted. All of them. No. I'll sue you. Invasion of privacy, harassment, defamation. Good luck with that. Everything I shared was either taken in public or given to me by someone who had legal access to it. Jules appears beside me, camera in hand. Smile, Brandon. This is going in the follow-up post. Brandon's face goes white. You're still recording? Public property, Jules says cheerfully. First Amendment and all that. Melissa realizes she's being filmed and tries to cover her face. Turn that off. Sorry, can't do that. This is news now. Public interest. I'll give you anything you want, Melissa says desperately. The house, money, whatever. Just make this stop. I don't want anything from you, I tell her. I just want you out of my life. Fine, fine, she's screaming again. But don't think this is over. I'll make you pay for this. She storms off toward Brandon's car, but he doesn't follow. This is insane, he says to me. You've lost your mind. Have I? Or have I finally found it? He looks at Jules's camera, then back at me. She's not worth this. You know that, right? She was going to leave you anyway. Then you should be thanking me for speeding up the process. Brandon shakes his head and walks back to his car. Melissa is already in the passenger seat, on her phone, probably calling lawyers or family members or anyone who might help her fix this mess. They drive away, and I watch until the BMW disappears around the corner. How do you feel? Jules asks. I think about it. For the first time in months, maybe years, I feel like myself again. Not the man Melissa wanted me to be, not the husband she was ashamed of, but the person I actually am. Free, I say. I feel free. 3 days later, I'm sitting in a lawyer's office downtown, signing divorce papers. Melissa's attorney is a sharp-dressed woman who keeps glancing at her phone like she'd rather be anywhere else. My client is prepared to accept a 50-50 split of assets, she says, in exchange for your agreement to stop the social media campaign. There's no campaign, my lawyer responds. My client shared factual information about his wife's infidelity. The fact that it went viral isn't his responsibility. The continued posting of photos and videos constitutes harassment. The continued documentation of Mrs. Harper's public behavior is journalism. I almost smile. Jules has been having a field day with this, posting updates like he's running a gossip blog. Melissa and Brandon's relationship imploded within 48 hours of the exposure. Apparently, he wasn't as committed as he claimed when their affair was private. My client wants this to end, Melissa's lawyer says. Then she should sign the papers, my lawyer replies. No alimony, 60-40 assets split in Mr. Harper's favor due to adultery, and she keeps her personal belongings. That's generous considering the circumstances. Through the conference room window, I can see Melissa in the hallway, pacing and talking on her phone. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. She'll never agree to 60-40, her lawyer says. Then she can explain to a judge why she thinks adultery should be rewarded, my lawyer responds. 20 minutes later, Melissa signs the papers. I'm officially a free man. Outside the law office, Emma is waiting by my truck. She's been my constant companion through all of this, helping me navigate the legal process and the media attention. How did it go? She asks. It's over. Really over. She smiles, and I realize how beautiful she looks when she's genuinely happy. What now? Now I figure out what comes next. We drive to the diner where we had our first real conversation, the night this all started. It feels like a lifetime ago. I have something to tell you, Emma says once we're seated. Okay. I've been thinking about us, about what's been happening between us. I know what she means. The chemistry has been building for days, the connection that started as friendship deepening into something more. Emma, let me finish. I know this is complicated. I know people will say it's too soon, that I'm just the rebound girl, that we're both making emotional decisions. What do you think? She reaches across the table and takes my hand. I think I've been falling for you for months, maybe longer. I think watching Melissa treat you like garbage made me realize how much you deserve to be loved properly. And I think if we don't at least try, we'll both regret it. I look at our joined hands, at this woman who stood by me when my world fell apart, who helped me find my strength again. I think you're right, I say. She grins. Yeah? Yeah, but I have one condition. What's that? No more secrets. No more lies. If we do this, we do it honestly. Deal. We sit there holding hands across the table, and for the first time in years, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. My phone buzzes with a text from Jules. Melissa's moving out today. Thought you'd want to know. I show the message to Emma. How does that make you feel? She asks. I think about it. About the woman who shared my bed for 3 years, but never really shared my life. About the lies and manipulation and calculated cruelty. About the marriage that was over long before I caught her cheating. Relieved, I say. Like I'm finally getting my house back. Emma squeezes my hand. Our house? I smile. Let's start with dinner and see where it goes. I'd like that. Outside, it's starting to rain, but neither of us moves to leave. We sit in our booth, planning a future that's honest and real and ours. Melissa can have her drama and her lies and her empty relationships built on image and manipulation. I'll take this, Emma's hand in mine, the promise of something genuine, the knowledge that I'm finally with someone who sees me as I really am and loves me for it. It's not the ending I expected when I watched my wife get dressed for another man. It's better.